Sometimes it's fun to spend the time in your shop looking at various twist patterns, and we have looked at lots of different twists over the years, different ways to just twist a simple bar without changing its profile, twists that start by changing the profile of the bar either through chiseling or fullering or something like that, and even twists that are composites of multiple different bars all brought together and twisted. Today I thought I'd take a look at something I've never tried. In fact, I've never even seen this done, although I'm sure I'm not the first one to think of it. I want to take a bar and put a little line of rivets. I think I'll put 4 rivets in here spaced about 1 inch apart. And then we're going to twist it and see what it looks like with those rivets marching down the twist pattern. And maybe we'll start with a 180-degree twist, see what that looks like. Twist it again a full 360 degrees, see what that looks like. And then maybe go a little further just to get an idea of where those rivets should be. Should they end up marching right down one side even though the twist is a little bit different there, or should they alternate, or who knows what it's going to look like. I sort of see it in my mind, but I can't absolutely say for sure what it's going to look like since I've never actually tried this. I do want to thank today's video sponsor, who is once again Bear Knives. Bear Knives is a company from the Netherlands who is offsetting the CO2 emissions of their production process so that every knife made is a net negative CO2 emissions. Bear Knives are made from German stainless steel with a unique mountain pattern forged into the blade. They're available either with or without a woodblock magnetic knife holder. I've had this knife for about a week now, and I've used it quite extensively in the kitchen, and I'm really very pleased with the performance. Bear Knives is currently using a Kickstarter campaign to fund this project. If you would like to be part of that project, check out their Kickstarter. I've got a link down in the video description for that. So our first task then needs to be to drill some holes and set some rivets. These 1/4-inch rivets will probably set cold, but if they don't, we'll go ahead and use a torch to set them. And these are 1-inch rivets. I've got a 5/8 bar, so I'm using a rivet that's 1.5 times the diameter of the rivet, longer than what it takes just to go through the bar. So it's an extra 3/8 of an inch. So the 5/8 bar, I need a 1-inch rivet to go through there. And that should create a similar domed head on the back side. It's not always a perfect formula, but it's a pretty good place to start and will be plenty sufficient to try out this concept. And if you're in metric, this looks like it's about 16 millimeter square bar. And the length is about 200 millimeters, so that's about 8 inches long. And I tend to use this same size material for my tests, so I can have a collection of them. They hang on the wall so I can refer to them when I need to. So I want to put a rivet in the center. You know, I think I'm going to go to 5 rivets, just so I've got one centered. I could offset this a little bit, but I think that's going to look better. Let's go to 5 rivets. And I'll just eyeball center. You can certainly lay it out and put a center line in here if you want to. But eyeballing it helps improve your ability to eyeball things, if that makes sense. Now generally, anything under 1/4 inch I set cold, anything over 1/4 inch I set hot. 1/4 inch is kind of a see what wants to work rivet size, and if this doesn't want to set very cleanly, we'll get it hot. But this also is not a critical application. No, that's not going down very tight, so I'm going to go ahead and get it hot and see if we can create a matching head here. This is the oxy-propane torch I'm using. Fortunately, it cools off really quick once you take the torch away. And now it's too hot to pick up with your hands, so that gets to be a little problematic, but that's not a bad rivet head. Now, based on the way these rivet heads are coming out, I think maybe another 1/8 inch of rivet wouldn't have hurt. That just depends on the rivet set and the exact shape of the head, whether that 1.5 times formula really pans out. And in this case, these heads are definitely smaller than the other heads. But it's going to work just fine for our test here. Let's go ahead and get this hot and give it a twist. As with any twist, the more even your heat, the better this is going to go. So we'll put that in the vise. Grab the other end with a twisting wrench. And I'm only going to go 180 degrees for now. That's interesting, but I think I'd like it with a little more. I'm going to go ahead and heat it up. It's cooling off on the ends and it won't twist evenly, so I'm going to get it hot again. You can also use a torch, but we probably need a bigger tip than I have in the torch right now. That is interesting. I like that. Let's go another 180 to a full turn or 360 twist. I like that better. I was afraid that one would not look as good as I had hoped, but I kind of like that. Let's get it hot one more time and go another 180 or a twist and a half. Now, if you're interested in this twisting wrench that I'm using, I will link to a video where we made the wrench right up here. Now what do we got? Well, I've liked all of these. I think I like the little bit faster or tighter twist just a little bit better. And I feel that perhaps the rivet heads not being exactly symmetrical might detract a little bit, although looking at it, it is not as bad as I thought it might be. So overall, I'm pretty darn happy with this. I think it's a very interesting technique. Where would I use it? Hard to say. It's just another possibility in your arsenal of options. Now, I will say that I am noticing that the holes are elongating. So where the hole was completely covered by the rivet head, the rivet completely filled that hole that I drilled. You're getting a little bit of a line where that hole is stretching out the side, so the rivet's probably compressing in there or twisting. And while it's not very distracting, it is an interesting thing there that now suddenly there are these gaps. And I don't know if there's a way to avoid that or not. I'm afraid that for this, if you've got holes in it, they're always going to do that, and the rivet is crushing as you twist, so it doesn't completely fill the hole anymore. Not going to hurt this by any means. Matter of fact, that brings up another possibility. Maybe I'll go cut another piece of material, and let's just see what it looks like if you just drill the holes and twist it. I've drilled the same 5 1/4-inch holes in this bar, but we're just going to twist it up without the rivets and see what happens to the holes. Might be interesting, might be boring, who knows? I'm just going to go ahead and take this the full twist and a half, or turn and a half, whatever you want to call it, and just see what it looks like. So that's that. That's actually quite interesting. You can see where the bar collapses at every one of the holes because there's nothing there to support it. I'm pretty intrigued by that. And for the most part, you can't tell exactly where the holes are except for the first and the last one. And if you extend the twist area, those would probably wash out as well. I think I'm going to heat that up and just try to twist the very end just a little bit more to tighten that up and see if I can get that last hole to collapse and in doing so eliminate any evidence of how we created this effect. I think I like this one better than the rivets. Now I am quenching the part I don't want to twist. Controlling your heat either by heating or cooling is really handy for controlling your twist. So by the time I'm done, this will end up being 2 times around, but that did help close that hole up, I think. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Let's do the same thing to the other end. Maybe we've discovered a new technique here. I don't know. Have any of you ever tried this before? Have you seen this type of a twist done before? I'll show you a close-up before we're all done, but I'm very intrigued by the way this came out. I don't need a lot of heat to get this last quarter of a twist in here. Oh yeah, that really made a difference. That gets those holes to just almost disappear. You'd have to know they were there to find them, I think. I'm glad I decided to go ahead and experiment with this. So sometimes when you have an idea, you just need to follow it through. Well, both of these were kind of fun little twists, a little bit different effects. To be honest, I am not as thrilled with the one with the rivets or studs as I thought I was going to be. I thought that was going to be really dramatic and that I would just absolutely love that. I find it kind of ho-hum, but there might be some places you can go with that, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But this other one with just the act of drilling holes in there, I think came out great. I think this is just really a unique twist. And even looking close and being able to see a little bit of a scar where those holes are, I'm not sure if anybody's ever going to realize that's how you did it. So that might just be our little secret when you put this online and all your blacksmithing friends wonder how you did that. Now, where do you take this? What do you do with it? Well, you could probably try drilling different size holes in this. You go a little smaller, a little bigger. I think 5/16, even 3/8 in the 5/8 square bar would probably be okay. I think if you go over that, probably it's going to get kind of weird, but hey, give it a try if you want to. And as far as this one, what I see maybe is to actually put something that's kind of spiky in there instead of a rivet, something that really sticks out the sides. You might have to tack weld it in to keep it in place while you twist it. But that might be something you would use in a fence to keep the bears out of your apple tree, for instance. Anyways, those are just some ideas. Take this idea, do what you want with it. Try different things out, take it new places. If you're on that Facebook group, share it to the Facebook group. If you're doing Instagram, just tag me in the Instagram post and I'll take a look at what you did, because these things can be really interesting and I would love to see what you folks do with the idea. Once again, I'd like to thank Bear Knives for sponsoring today's video. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button down there. Ring the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to be notified when I make new videos. Stick around, watch a few of the other videos, share the videos with your friends, but make time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, or just experiment with some ideas to see what comes of it. But be safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next one.